Hey there. My name's Liz. I'm starting my very first Flosstube. This is like my 4th time recording this. I had it all done. I thought it was great. It didn't look right when I tried to upload it since I was filming in portrait mode instead of landscape mode, so I think this will work better. So here we go. I figured I would start out with an introduction. I do all sorts of crafting until I get sick of doing it. So I get hooked on something, I do it nonstop until I just can't stand it anymore. And then I find something new. So if you look at my channel, I have videos from like 6 years ago. I made rainbow loom dragons from the movie How to Train Your Dragon. And I started out watching this girl, I think it was called How to Loom Your Dragon, and she had a bunch of videos on all these different dragons that she had come up with. So I did a lot of hers, and then using her videos, what I learned, I was able to come up with some patterns of my own. So that's what's in my videos. And then I also did a 3D Taj Mahal. And so I tell how I did that. And that I think they take 3 looms, 3 rainbow loom boards. And then after that, I have off and on, I've done advanced friendship bracelets. So every once in a while I get on a kick with that, and I do that for a long time, but it's very monotonous. It's literally tying knots one way, and then you tie knots the other way, and then you tie knots one way, and it gets boring really fast. And it really hurts your back because you have to like bend over to do it. So I have a video showing exactly my process. And I think that's 5 or 6 years old too. But now I did diamond painting for a little over a year. I loved it. I have a pretty big diamond painting pen collection. I have all this stuff. And one day it just hit me that I didn't want to do it anymore. I had finally got one of the paintings that I really wanted, and that was Neon from Distracted by Diamonds. I really liked her, and I finally got her, and then I was working on something else when I got her. So I think I finished that, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to do Neon. I split my plastic down the middle so I could work on one half and then turn it and do the other half, and by the time I got done with the first half, I didn't want to do it anymore. So she is literally half done, like straight down the middle, half done. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I still have all my diamond paintings. I have all my double-sided adhesive ones in a flattened box that's between my mattress and box spring. And then my other ones are all rolled up in tubes under my bed because I don't want to get rid of them because I know I'll want to do it again, just not right now. And back in May, I started getting ads for Tapestry Market on Facebook. So, advertising cross-stitch kits. And I was like, oh, well, I'll look at that. I couldn't figure out why they were advertising. I mean, you know, Google, they know your search history, so I must have done something that made them think I wanted cross-stitch. So I liked a couple of the patterns. I liked the one that was in the ad. They were running a deal where if you had 4 things in your shopping cart, you could add a 5th one for free. So I got 3 patterns, generic Q-snap, and a kit that had extra needles and stuff. And the first one that I wanted to do was the one from the ad. It was the Disney one with the Mickey Mouse ears, and then all the little characters. But it wasn't as good as the one in the video. So wasn't very detailed. So I scrapped it. I couldn't stand working on it anymore. I felt like it wasn't worth the trouble. But the second one was good, and I liked it, and I got hooked. So with that, I will go into my WIPs. Now, I was going to do a tour of my bedroom / craft room, but I'd have to take my phone out of the case, so it's like the microphone on my phone is so good, it picks up the squeakiness of my case as I hold it. So I'll just do a separate video for that someday. But now to the WIPs. So like I said, Tapestry Market started it. So the first one was the Disney one, and I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to do it because it didn't look good. So the second one, hold on, I have it in the thing. So let's see. Come on. Oh. Like that. Well, poo. Okay, well, it doesn't want to come out. Okay, well, that's fine. It's unscrewed, but it won't come out. So this is the generic Q-snap that came from them. It's not bad. It's just not a Q-snap. It's generic. But this is the pattern. It's called Craft Village, and it's a real long and skinny one. So I was working on each set of people at a time. So these guys are all done, the yarn, and just yesterday I decided I was going to start working on it again. All I had done was the scissors and the ribbon, and last night and tonight I started working on it, and now I'm almost done with this one. I have a little bit of her dress, and then I have to do this little bobble thing. It's like a button or something, I don't know. And then that section will be done. But, and before I even knew what a scroll frame was, I was using, oh man, that's annoying. I was using this as a scroll frame. I had it like wrapped around, and then I was wrapping this side around, and then putting on my little snappy thing. So I was using it as a scroll frame before I even knew what that was. And whatever, I think this is like an 11 by 11. The Dollar Tree steering wheel cover fits around it as a grime guard. But so that was my first cross stitch, and it's just a stamped one, but I liked it, so I said I'm gonna try counted cross stitch. I'd never done that before. I think I tried stamped cross stitch a couple times while I was in high school, and I just didn't really get into it, but I was always scared of counted cross stitch. But after working on that and liking it, I was like, I'm gonna get just a simple pattern, see if I can do counted cross stitch. So my first pattern is from PixelmanStrikesBack. He has a bunch of movies that are like pixelated characters. So the first one I got is Big Trouble in Little China, because it's one of my all-time favorite movies. So here's that. I really like it, and I thought, hey, I like this, I can do this. So I started getting all the stuff because that's what I wanted to do now. Actually, I have a screen cap on my phone from Etsy from the last diamond painting I bought, and then this pattern, like, within, like, 4 days of each other. So, I can see exactly when I transitioned from diamond painting to cross stitch. And it was back in May. So I did Big Trouble in Little China, and both of these patterns are small, and they're skinny and short. So they're long and skinny, but they're short, so I could fit 2 patterns on one piece of Ada. So on one side I did Big Trouble in Little China. Like I said, it's one of my favorite movies. The only thing I changed, because in the movie, you know, Lo Pan, he wants to marry both girls because they have green eyes. And in the wedding scene, one girl's wearing a green headdress and one girl's wearing the gold headdress. Well, in the pattern, it was just they both had green headdresses. So I just changed it. So I just made one gold and one green. But other than that, this pattern is really cool. This is only the first 3 characters. There's, I think, 2 or 3 on each side. But before I scroll the frame, I want to do the 5th element. Now, when I first filmed this, all I had was the 5th element and then the box thing around it. So I was like, I think I'm going to start working on that because it's one of my oldest WIPs. So the day that I thought that, like the day that I filmed it, that night I did the lighter yellow outline because there's 2 colors of yellow. I did the lighter color yellow and the stones, I think. No, the lighter color yellow and Plava Laguna, the diva. And that I worked on for like 2.5 hours, and I got her completely done. She wasn't even there. So I did all of her. And then the next day, I did the stones, and then I did the back stitching on the stones so you could actually see them. And then I'd put it down for the day. I was done. That's all I really wanted to do. And then after I put my little girl to bed, I was like, I'm going to do the words too. So I did the words. It says, wind blows, rain falls, fire burns. So all that was in one day. So the first day was finishing her and that, and then the second day was the stones and the words, and then the third day I sat and I did all the 310 for all these characters. So that's all the black for those characters. And on this one, I think it's just Lilu over here and then Ruby Rod on this side. So this one's, you know, there's only one more character on each side. So once I get done with these, I'm going to scroll and then I can do the other characters on this, you know, as I scroll. But that was my plan. And this is just the cheap, this is my first scroll frame. It's just one of the split rod ones. So it's not the greatest, but it works for this. So there we go. Now after that, I got the 1920s Art Deco Lady, and this is from Vivsters on Etsy. My needle minders are mostly from Etsy. I have a couple from Amazon, so I can try to figure out which store they came from. But so this is 1920s Art Deco Lady. It's really neat. I'll put up the picture of it. But all of this, man, it's hard to hold this. All of this is dark gray. And then the light gray moon. And I was so sick of doing the gray that I wanted to work on the lady. So I started working on the lady. Now she is wearing like a dress and she's sitting on something, and her dress is just super colorful. It's like drippy. colors, but she's awesome. So I've been working on her for a while, and when I started, it's 14 count Ada, and when I started I was using 2 strands, but I could still see in this dark gray, I could see so much of the white that I didn't like it. So I ripped out almost 400 stitches. It was like here, ripped them all out. After I did a little test piece of 3 strands, and I liked it. So I pulled out all I did, and now this is 3 strands. So it's nice and solid looking. But, so there's that one. And then I got these side tensioners from Etsy too. So they're nice because, you know, it keeps your fabric nice and tight. After the Art Deco Lady, I got Merida. This is from Brave. Now this one is huge. The pattern itself is 24 inches by 24 inches. So the fabric I have is 30 inches by 30 inches. And so, oh shoot, I forgot. I forgot that it just shows right through. So this is the middle of it. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if I can tilt it down. So I'll have to hold it up this high. There we go. So that's the very middle of the pattern. And that's just 40 by 40 in the very middle. In just one color. And I think it's got 30 colors. Might have more than that. But it's really pretty. It's got like, this one's like a real pretty teal. But it's got like blues and greens, and then the orange of her hair. It looks like the tapestry from the movie, but it also kind of looks like a stained glass window. I'll put up a picture. It's really neat. But I'm starting in the middle because like the tapestry part of the picture is round, but the stitching is the full square, and I don't want the corners. I just want the round part. But I couldn't figure out, looking at the pattern, where the edge of the circle was. So I figured I'll just work my way out. It's the easiest way to do it. Because it's huge anyway. It's not like I'm in any rush. Shoot, this time I didn't talk about my storage. I'll have to do that at the end, I guess. Or maybe just do a separate video. I think I'll do that. I'll just do a separate video of my floss storage. But, so, that's all I've gotten on her. And I'm just intimidated by the size. But this is a frame that I ordered just for it because it is so big. And I couldn't find anywhere that had bigger frames. So this is an American Dream Easy Stitch. Which side? This side you can see, that's like the Velcro-y stuff. And this is the heavy duty one, that's oak. I got it from Amazon. It's really nice, but with it being so big, it's very hard to get the fabric tight. I tried and tried and tried, and no matter what I do, it always ends up loose. But I think it's just because there's so much fabric wrapped around the rods. But it'll be cool. So after Merida, it's so tall. I don't want it to fall over on me. Merida. Then I did some projects for other people. I did one, it was called Roll Initiative. My friends at work are moving into a new apartment, and I wanted to make them something, and they're both really nerdy. So, and I had overheard one of them talking about their D&D characters. So I saw this one, and it says, "Welcome to our home, roll initiative," and it's got a 20-side die, and then it's got dragons and swords, so I thought that'd be great. So I stitched it on like a oatmeal Aida, so it looked like parchment, and framed it up all pretty. I'll put a picture up for you. It turned out really great, and she loved it. And then after that, I did one of the ethnic dancers from Etsy, and that one was from, I think it's called my CrossStitchObsession. I don't know. I'm gonna have links to everything in the bottom. But it's just an African dancer, and my best friend from work is from Ghana in Africa, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to do it for her. So I did that one. I mean, I worked on it nonstop for like 2 weeks, and it was a secret. She didn't know what the pattern was. I had showed her the colors of the floss, and that was all I showed her. And she liked it so much, she made me walk around with her while she showed everybody at work, and then talked about how great it was and how great I was, and it was highly embarrassing, but she loved it. So, and then after that one, I did the 3 of Crafts from my NightSpiritStudios. And this, they have a bunch of them that are kind of made to be mounted in hoops. So this is one of them. I love this. It's 3 different colors of red. So, oh shoot. So it looks kind of 3D. Let's see. I'm gonna block the color. Oh, there we go. So it kind of looks 3D, just the way the light hits the different colors of red. So, I really liked that one. That one took me, I don't know, probably a couple weeks, week and a half. The only thing is, I don't know how you guys stitch in these hoops. I did the whole thing on scroll frames, and then at the very end, I just wanted to see what it looked like in the hoop, and all I had left to stitch was like the white lacy outside, like half of it. So I stitched that while it was in the hoop, and I hated it. I don't know, it's not for me. I can't figure out how to hold it and stitch and balance it. So, but it does look nice mounted in a hoop. And there's another one I have, another pattern I have that I'm gonna do. And it's the one where it says, it's like a skeleton in a coffin, and then it says, they used my scissors for cutting paper. I thought it was hilarious. So that's the next one of theirs I'm going to do, and it should be pretty quick, and it's only, I think, 2 colors or 3 colors, but I thought it was really funny. So after that, I started the Bee Bouquet Stitch Along from Carolyn Manning, and I just moved my rods, so I haven't put my tensioners back on. But this one's really neat. This is parts 1, 2, and 3, all done. Let's see if we can get it close enough. There we go. So this is parts 1, 2, and 3. They just released part 7, but after I worked on this for a while, I wanted to take a break from it. Plus the fact that I was to the point where this next one, so this is 1, 2, and 3, part 4 goes outside these yellow flowers. So I was gonna have to scroll because I had my rods down there. But I just moved them so I don't have to scroll for a while. But it's huge. So that's that one, and it's really neat, and I did the back stitching and everything. And then this, I grid my fabric because I like gridding my fabric. I think it's relaxing just gridding. But this is with the heat erase pens from Amazon. I got a set of them. It's like I want to say 4 colors, and then each color you got like 4 refills. But it's nice. I got it for when I have hand-dyed fabric, because you know you can't wash the hand-dyed fabric to get your grid lines off. So I figured heat pens would be great. So I used it. This is the first one I used it on. Or no. Yeah, I guess this is the first one I used it on. But since this pattern starts in the middle and then each time it goes out, I wanted to see what it looked like, and I wanted to see how the heat pens worked. So I took it in the bathroom and used my hairdryer to erase the middle grids so I could see them, and it turned out pretty cool. It's real easy, but it also means if you screw up while you're gridding, you can just use your hairdryer to erase it. Just took it in the bathroom, erase it. I also got it for black fabric because I figured it'd be easier to use the heat erase on the black also. Oh, it was NightSpiritStudios that I used it first because it was black fabric. It was the 3 of Crafts, because when I was gridding, I skipped the line, you know, and so I had to take it in and erase what I did and do it again, and it was easy. Took it in the bathroom, used the hairdryer. So this, here we go. Ready? So since this, it's very open, and it's all mirrored, so like it's all symmetrical. So like these reds are in these flowers, and these flowers, and these flowers. So here is the back. I basically just would go, if it wasn't too far of a jump, I would jump. So I would just went in a circle. But it's like on my advanced friendship bracelets, I call this organized chaos. So there we go. That's the only one that looks neat. But so after that one, I started the Long Dog Twisted Rainbow Bands sampler. And I started it on 14 count Ada. And this Ada I got, it's black. I got it from Etsy. And it's got like easy grid lines, but they're like, they're kind of hard to see if you don't have perfect lighting. So it's helpful, sort of. But I got it started, and it's on the 14 count, it's really big. But I really want to do it. So I stopped what I was doing, and I ordered 18 count from Amazon. So this is 18 count, and I like it a lot better. So it's a lot better. It's much more reasonable, because that one would end up being, it's already a big pattern, so it would have been huge. So here's the difference. I've done this. I can do this. Hold this up. Okay. So there's the difference. See that yellow star? It's almost twice as big on the 14 count down here. So I definitely like the 18 count better. But this is my first time working on 18 count. All my stuff has been on 14 count. I really like 18 count now. So now I want to get 18 count instead of 14 count for my projects, or at least the bigger projects. So I have tons of 14 count. And eventually, when I do that tour of my room, I'll show you my storage for that. But also, I went to IKEA today, and I have a whole nother storage solution figured out. So I guess I'll wait until I do that. But, so, that's the long dog. And I love it. So, each band is a different color. You know, so it's got like a corner dude thingy. And then each band goes down. Well, this next line under this one starts the alphabet. But they're really pretty. I'll put a picture up. Okay, so after the long dog, I started the Cryptid stitch along on WitchyStitcher. And this one, when I got it, people had already got their patterns. Like, it started in the beginning of August, and they give you a whole month to do the frame, which is the outline, before they start releasing the Cryptids. And today is September 3rd, and they released the first Cryptid. So you're supposed to be ready. I'm not, because I started so late. You know, I kept debating whether I wanted to do it, whether I don't know if I want to do it. And so I finally said, yeah, I'm going to do it. But I only gave myself it only gave me like 2 weeks to finish this. And I have other stuff that I've been doing. So here's the beginning. It's really neat. And this fabric is from Dye Guy Creations on Etsy. It's like a smoky gray. I like it. But this is like 300 stitches. And it's got like bats on the top, and then it says Cryptids, and then it's got like these little doodads. And then after these triangles, there's like a moon, and then there's 2 triangles, and then there's a moon, and it just does that. So they released the first Cryptid today, and of course it's Mothman, because he's probably the most requested. So it looks like there's 16 Cryptids, and they're going to release a new one every week. You get a schedule when you pay for the stitch along. And you can either do it through their website or through their Etsy store. But then it gives you access to the patterns and everything. But there's a calendar, and it's like every week they're releasing a new Cryptid, and then there'll be like a week off to get caught up, and then there'll be like, you know, a couple weeks, and then there's a week off, and then there's a couple weeks. So it's really cool, and I really want to do it. So I started, but I picked up that 5th element and haven't put it down, and now I started working on that first stamped cross stitch, but I've only done that really yesterday and today. So maybe I'll work on this. But I also have new ones that I want to do. So who knows? So that's all my WIPs that I'm actually working on. And then I have, I think, 39 patterns all together. That's including the ones I've done and I'm working on. And I have floss for a majority of them, and Ada for a lot of them. But not all of them. I even started pre-gridding some of the ones that I know I want to do next. Like the ones that I know I have floss and I have the Ada, I started pre-gridding them. Because like I said, I find it relaxing just gridding them. So I got one that's from UnconventionalX, and it's called Colossal Octopus, and this black and white like octopus that's attacking a ship, so it's like a kraken. I really like it, so I got that, and I got all the floss for it, and it's black and white, but it's like 20 colors of grays. It's really neat. Grays and like a steel blue kind of gray. So I want to start that one. And then I just got one that is, I think it's from the same shop, and it's called Van Gogh Never Leveled Up, and it's like Super Mario but Starry Night style. So it's got that piranha plant and the ghost. It's really cool. I want to start that one. It's 90 freaking colors. It's only 200 stitches by 200 stitches, so it's only like it's pretty small, but it's 90 colors. I got the first 10 colors today, but since I bought colors for something else, I didn't want to completely spend all my money. But the other one I got colors for is a Schitts Creek pattern, because I love Schitts Creek. I've watched it all the way through twice, and I started watching it again because I just need to laugh. I've been struggling with stress and everything, so cross-stitch and stupid funny TV shows. But it's like, I wish I could show you a picture of that while I have it in my hand, but I don't. The only thing I've got is at the bottom, it's got quotes, and it's like kind of like a prairie sampler. So it's got like the different buildings of the town, and it's got the family, and then it's got a bunch of quotes and stuff from the show. So it says like, "Jazzy gals, and love that journey for me. Eat glass. It's my turn to take a selfish. Simply the best. Incorrect. Cabaret. I like the wine, not the label. I have asked you thrice. Don't worry, it's his sister, the Moira's Rose's garden. Just pretentious enough. I'd kill for a good coma right now. Ew, David. Disgruntled penguin. Disgruntled pelican. You get murdered first. Fold in the cheese and a little bit of Lexus." And I just can't wait to do this. So I got the floss for it. I have the Ada for it. And I want to at least get the border and the words at the bottom done. This weekend would be nice, but I don't know if that'll happen. But, so that was exciting. But I have so many that I just want to start. I want to start them all. I want to do them all. So, now that we've gone through that, and it's only 37 minutes so far, okay. This was a cool thrift store find for $1.91. It's just a split rod scroll frame, but I can always use more scroll frames. And this would be good for just small projects. And I thought, if nothing else, I can use this for, I have a couple that are really small. Like I have a Biscornu that's a pineapple that I want to do, but you know, it's only going to be a really little piece. It's obviously going to be, I'm going to stitch 2 squares, but I thought I could just cut this down so it'll be like 12 inches, so I can have a small, like a really small frame instead of the Q-snaps, because I mean, Q-snap's okay, but I really like scroll frames. So I was really excited to find that, and let me tell you how many times I walked around that store hoping to find anything else cross stitch. I was like, well, if they donated that, they might have donated other things, but they didn't. Although I did find this, and it's a really cute project that somebody did, and it's like one of those ones, it must have been a kit, and it's like they stuffed it, and it says, "A needle in the hand is worth 2 in the couch." And I thought that was hilarious. And it's really well framed. Like they put the paper on the back and everything, and there's little bumpers in the corners. So I had to get it because it was only $1. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but it's cute. And I showed my mom and she thought it was funny. So I guess, hold on, let's see if I can show you my toolbox. So this is my cross-stitch toolbox that I came up with. This is all the stuff I use. I don't know if you guys will find it interesting, but here we go. So I am obsessed with Annie's Keepers. I saw a lady on TikTok talk about it, and I love her TikToks, and she really likes them, and I wanted to try something other than the bobbins because I don't like the kinks in the floss, because I get more knots and tangles. So I figured I would try the Annie's Keepers. So I got the starter set, and it came with, I think, 50 Annie's Keepers, and then some of the storage slides. And these are the storage slides. They have like a hook, and they go on a hanging file box. And then the keepers, you know, you keep your floss. But the cool thing is, if you need like one of the middle ones, you don't have to pull all of them off. You just, why can I not do it backwards? You kind of twist them, and they snap in and out. So I have some of those that are on the bars, and then I have a couple of extra bars because I just had a project that I was done with. So I have some of those in here. And then I was thinking about making my own thread drops. So I got these, they're like cardstock label tags. I think you're supposed to use them for like jewelry or something. So I got some of those, and then a hole punch, because I was going to make my own thread drops. And then I didn't because I got into the Annie's Keepers. I have a couple extra side tensioners. I have some magnets and a bunch of pins and stuff that I'm going to make my own needle minders. And then I got Thread Magic, and I have not used it once. I see how you're supposed to use it, but if you're using more than one thread, I don't know how it works. So I haven't done it. And then I heard about where you do the gridding, where you stitch with this metallic thread, and then when you're done, you just pull on the metallic threads and they come out. And I tried it once, and it seems like it would be good for small projects, but for big ones, it's just not reasonable. So I still have it. I'm not probably ever going to use it again. I have an eraser that looks like a pencil. I have glue for the needle minder making. I have this thing I got. It's a DMC. It's like a thread snipper. So it's got like a blade, and it's got like a hole, so you could put it on like a chain for around your neck or whatever. But it's really nice. It's like pewter, it feels like, but it's magnetic, so I don't know. Tape measure. These are those heat erase pens. So you get like 4 of the pen holders, and then you get a bunch of the refills. So I have 3 colors in here. I have white, pink, and purple, but I think there's another color. I think there's a blue. And then I have a regular mechanical pencil. I have the Mark Be Gone water-soluble pen. I have a permanent marker, and I have Prismacolor white colored pencil. I use it as like tailor's chalk. And this is what I was using on my black fabrics to grid, but then I found these heat erase pens, so they're better. This is $2.50 just for one colored pencil because it's Prismacolor, but they're the best. I use them for any fabric, any sewing I'm doing. Like I said, I use it as like tailor's chalk, and then pencil sharpener. I have some of that fray check. I haven't used it yet. I'm gonna use it when I do the colossal octopus, because I have to cut down the giant piece of Ada that I have to make it less giant. And I want to make sure it doesn't fray. What else? These are just the dividers for the box. The box is from Joann Fabrics. It's an Artbin, and this is the bigger one. They have a small one and a big one. but you can change where the dividers go. So I really like it. I actually have two, because this is what I was going to switch all my bobbins over to. And then I realized I didn't like the bobbins. So now I have another one that's just empty. And then I have these two. 3D. They're extra knobs for the American Dream scroll rods, because I thought maybe I would just get more rods and just, you know, when I needed a different size. And then I decorated it using my Cricut. It says cross stitch toolbox. It's got a needle and floss. It's got these cross stitch hearts, and then a pair of the stork scissors. Which the stork scissors, the reason they're shaped like storks is they used to be with the nurses, the midwives. They would use those to cut the umbilical cord, I guess. And they're shaped like storks because of babies and storks. I read that. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I heard. So I just figured I would share. They needed something that was nice and sharp, and they didn't want ugly scissors, I guess. I don't know. So I guess that's really it, unless I show, yeah, I'll show my Lowery stand because it's right here. So I have the Lowery stand, and I really like it. This is how I have it decorated. I've been collecting cross-stitch stickers and any other stickers I get from anywhere. Anything that looks cool. Or if I order something and the shop sends me stickers, if it's something that will fit, I throw it on here. Also, my Yeti sticker from when I got my Yeti cup. My Brewmate from when I got my Brewmate cup. So, you know. So this is the Lowery stand, and the cool thing is I have it set so it's all the way down. So I can put my frame in there, my scroll frame, and sit on the floor. So that's what I do when I go downstairs and like sit in front of the TV downstairs. I just set it so it's floor level and I sit on the floor. But it goes way up. So you can sit, I sit on the edge of my bed and just have it so it's, you know, in front of me. So I really like that. And then I have a needle box that's magnetic. So I have some extra needles, needle threader, seam ripper for when bad things happen. And then I just used a piece of magnetic tape, and so I have an extra magnet. And then I have my tablet holder, and then here's the Annie's Keepers at work. So whatever project I'm working on, I have my Annie's Keeper with my floss. And then I use these little tags to label the project. And then I have a whole bar. Well, I have this little, it's like an over the cabinet door rod. It's for like your bathroom cabinet or whatever. But I have a whole bunch of my projects on rings on that. And then I can just flip through and grab the one that is for the project that I want to work on. So this one's for the long dog. Look at these colors. They're really pretty. This is just black for the Cryptid frame. It says it's gonna take, I think, nine skeins. And I think that's only 3 there. The rest are up there. So that's that. And then I have the Craft Village one. Sorry. the Craft Village one is on one of the sit-on stands. So you put this under your legs while you're sitting on like the couch or whatever, and it holds it so it's right where you need it. And you can adjust the height by, you know, taking these guys out. There's extra holes so you can make it higher if you need to. So I have that one. It's not the greatest stand, and it's definitely for like a chair, because it wants to tilt towards where the weight of you is, so it wants to tilt, so it's not super stable. But it's good for smaller projects, and it's going to be what I take when we go on our trip later this year. I think I'm just taking this with me because the project I'm going to bring with me is pretty small. So you can just unscrew this bar from the base plate. I figured it'll fold up and go into the suitcase. Now for that Merida that's 30 inches wide, the problem with that is my Lowery stand, it's not top heavy, it's side heavy. So here's the stand. It's like this. For the 24-inch frames, it wants to tilt a little bit. As you're working, it kind of wants to, because there's too much weight off of where the base plate is. So the 30-inch frame would definitely tip it. It'd just go and tip. Because the base plate is not that much wider. So like, that's the only thing I don't like. So here's the end of this. The base plate's only like this much farther if I look down. So its center of gravity is not very good. So like if it's 24 inches, it kind of wants to tilt. Not a lot, it's just kind of wobbly. Now 30 inches, it's definitely going to want to tilt. But so for the 30-inch project, I have these. And it's like, this is called a lap stand. So you put your frame, so it's like this. So it's got support on both sides. Now I got it for really any project. Like, see, it even work for this, and this is my smallest bars, and they're 16 inches. It's just nice because it holds both sides. And then since it has these wooden spacers, I can even flip my project if I want, like if I need to get to the back, because that spacer takes into account these wooden knobs. But, so that's those. And that's, I think, all I'm going to get into right now that I've made a big mess. This is how I started out. This is for that Tapestry Market one. I got one of these guys from Amazon. Actually, I think I got a couple of these from Amazon. And then it's, I don't even know what they're called. It's not a thread card because it's different. Thread sorter. So it's got like these foamy things. So you hook your thread or your floss onto these little hooks. And then they go between the little things. They're nice. And then there's a spot in front of each one so you can put a pre-threaded needle on there if you wanted. And then it comes with a bunch of the little cards so you can write in your symbols to match up. It's like, it's a good idea, but they're very small squares. So this one I happen to, because the pattern itself, the paper thing that came with it showed if you wanted to use that paper pattern as a counted cross stitch. So the symbols are different or something, like somehow they're different. So I couldn't use those. So I had to literally make a copy of this. I had to take it down to my printer and make a copy of this chart so I would have it, so I wouldn't have to draw each symbol. But it works, I guess. It was just an extra, I don't know. Maybe it was weird. Maybe it's not weird. Maybe that happens all the time. I don't know. But, so, this one's still on this because might as well. But everything else is on keepers now. No. There is one more thing. The Big Trouble in Little China is on one of these. But everything else. Because that was my second start. But there's that. And that's, I think, everything I have for WIPs and the little bit of my setup. Like I said, I think my next one, I'm just gonna do a quick one on how I store my floss on the keepers. And then also, once I get my new IKEA over the door set up, it's just the pegboards, but I have a plan. So I can have stuff more, I don't know, easier to see. I don't know. Less jumbled looking, I guess. So I got that stuff, and I'm going to try to do it tomorrow. But really, I don't have any plans. I have a bunch of things I want to start, and you know, I'm not going to wait all the way until May. I'm just going to start stuff when I want to start stuff. It's funny that I started cross-stitching in May when they do Mania, and I didn't even know what Mania was. But there we go. I also have a video on how I load my scroll frames. I do it kind of backwards. Like, the instructions they give you show how to do it where it's wrapped out and under. So this would be your stitching side. But I don't like that. I like it, I don't like that because, you know, you can't put anything down. So I wrap them backwards. So I wrap it so it's inside. So I get that ledge so I can put my scissors and my little needle box if I need to, or whatever. I can have it sitting on that little ledge. So I wrap mine backwards from the way they tell you, and it took me a while to figure out how to get these little clips so it made sense. Like, because when I was trying to like scroll to tighten it, it wasn't, I don't know, wasn't working as well. And here it's just because, okay, I'm rolling it backwards, so I need to turn those backwards, and that's all it was. But I made a quick little video, and I'll put that up. And then I also made a quick little video just for one of the cross stitch groups that I'm in on those heat erase pens. I showed when I made that mistake with that heat erase pen, and I took it into the bathroom and used my hairdryer to erase it, just so people could see that they do work. And that, you know, it has its place because, like I said, with hand-dyed fabrics, you can't wash them to wash away your grid lines. So I figured heat erase pens would be the way to go. So I shared the video, and some people were like, oh, you know, they didn't seem that thrilled with it, or they thought it was dumb. I don't know. But, so I have that video, I have that one. I had a video that I did where I showed how I quickly can get my floss out of the skein and onto the bobbin without having to write on every bobbin. But now I don't use bobbins, so other than that, so I'm going to try to get on here, do this whenever I can. It's not going to be like a set time. I work Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so my only days off are Tuesday and then the weekends. And I also have a 4-year-old, so the only time I can really film is after she's in bed. And even then, she'll just randomly yell for me and I have to go get her. But, so thanks for watching. I think this one went pretty good. Hopefully I can upload it a lot easier than I tried to do the last one. And it just didn't look like it was gonna fit and be easy to watch. So hopefully this helps. So also then with the editing and so thanks for watching. Check out my old videos if you want. Even if you just want to laugh, because I don't know. It was so silly. But you know, people are still serious about that rainbow loom stuff, and I'm glad. I still have a box full of my rainbow loom bands. I don't know if they're any good. They probably aren't. It's been 6 years. But I don't want to get rid of them. So I guess that's all. I will talk to you next time. And I'm going to try to put links in for everything I can remember and everything I can find. So I've been trying to make a note with the links, so hopefully I can just copy and paste it. But I'll talk to you next time. I'm going to stop jibber jabbering now. Bye.